I had made this video going over the history of Brawl Stars. However, what is arguably even more important is the future of the game, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. We'll be looking at some things we can expect in the future of the game, and also just seeing what it could look like 5 or even 10 years down the road. So, let's just get right into it. First of all, let's establish where the game is at currently, since we need to get a good understanding of the present to see how the future could evolve. Right now, I think we can comfortably say that Brawl Stars is at the best point it has ever been at. It's really just doing better than it ever has, and there are millions of new people come to the game every month. The community is also really just like at an all-time high, with it being more engaged than ever. If you look at the Brawl Stars YouTube channel, then you can see that a lot of their main videos over the last few months have been getting tens of millions of views, and this is way more than just a year or two ago where they were struggling to get even 10 million views. And that just shows how much more of an interest there is in the game right now. Plus, in terms of stuff going on in the game, well, the game is honestly pretty balanced right now, and gameplay wise, everything is going well, and there aren't like any massive bugs or glitches or anything that exist, and there also isn't really any sort of controversy or anything bad going on right now. The most recent one would have been the controversy around the Superstar Make campaign for Bell. However, most people would have moved on, and recently campaigns were announced for 6 whole brawlers, which definitely makes things a lot better. So overall, the game is really like at a high point right now. However, does that mean it's going to get worse from now on, or can it get even better? That is honestly the question that a lot of people have been asking, since the game has been on a massive bull run over the last few months with it just rising in popularity. However, as we all know, what goes up must come down. So it's just a question of how much longer can Brawl Stars stay at the top before they end up coming down. Well, by looking at the last few months, we can see that each month has been bigger than the last one when it comes to downloads and profits. So right now, there doesn't seem to be any sign of slowing down, especially because of the Mega Boxes event, which has just brought a ton more attention to the game and has brought back many people who used to play back when the Brawl Boxes were permanently in the game. However, it is no secret that Brawl Stars is definitely running out of these big events and big updates that they can do. If you think about it, the more and more big changes they do, the less they can kind of do in the future. And I know this may sound weird, so let me explain. The one thing that Brawl Stars, and I guess pretty much every game, wants to work towards is just making sure everything is as good as possible, and this comes in the form of updates and features that just make things better. And we have seen over the years how Brawl Stars has reworked a ton of things, with the two main ones just being the progression system as well as their competitive modes. Those are the two things that have gotten the most changes, and as of most recently, the progression system is honestly really good in my opinion with the Star Road. However, the competitive scene could definitely use a little work, as Rick mode has been alright at best. However, I'd say it was still better than Power League. So basically, as Brawl Stars makes things better and better, they suddenly start taking those things off the list, and they eventually run out of stuff to do, meaning we won't be getting these big updates as often unless Brawl Stars decides to just add in completely new features. However, at a point, there is just too much. Even right now, you can say that Brawl Stars already has a lot going on. There are regularly new brawlers and events, along with just a bunch of other things you have to keep track of, like the game mode rotations and mega pick and just a bunch of other stuff. And I actually do want to talk about the brawlers, since those are clearly a massive part of the future of the game. When Brawl Stars first came out, there were only 15 brawlers in the game. However, there are over 80 now, and well, that number is only going to keep on increasing. And I think this is the biggest problem the game is really facing right now when it comes to the future, and it is a similar problem that Clash of Clans is having with more and more town halls. And I suppose this just is a problem for games like this that regularly add new content, because at a point it is too much, and with Brawl Stars there really isn't the option to just take away brawlers. And a very similar example is with League of Legends, since that is a game that revolves around having champions, which are the playable characters, and they all have their own unique skills and abilities. However, due to how long the game has been out, now there are just so many champions, and it's over double the number of brawlers inside of Brawl Stars. And that game does also tend to have a bit of an older audience than Brawl Stars, who can most likely remember things better. So if it's becoming too much for them, then it'll be a problem for Brawl Stars, which has a younger player base who can't dedicate hours per day day trying to learn all the different abilities of all the brawlers. And I suppose this isn't a problem for the older players who have been playing for a bit, since realistically they just have to learn 1 or 2 brawlers at a time. However, it just comes as a surprise for the newer players who suddenly had to try and figure out the abilities and everything of over 80 brawlers. And obviously you don't have to memorize every single brawler or even know all the abilities. However, for most people, they want to win games and just be good at the game, and that does mean learning brawlers and figuring out their strengths and weaknesses, and basically being able to use that information to make quick decisions inside of the game. So it could be a problem in the future when there are even more brawlers, as this could potentially deter newer players from playing the game because there are just too many brawlers and it's too daunting to try and figure out, since that is honestly what's going on with League of Legends. That game more so has an older player base of people who have been playing for a while, and it's hard for new people to just jump into the game how it is right now. So overall, more and more brawlers just widens the barrier of entry for the newer players, which isn't a good thing. However, there also is the question of how can Brawl Stars possibly fix this, and how far are they going to go? Well, honestly, I don't think they're ever going to just stop adding in new brawlers, at least not for a while. It is possible that eventually they stop like 10 years down the road, but I think we do have at least 10 years worth of new brawlers coming out. However, what I do think is going to happen is that the releases get slowed down, since right now we are getting them quite often, and I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon as the game is going full steam ahead. However, in about a year or two, I think we'll start to see a slowdown, and this will also probably be around the point we hit 100 brawlers inside the game. So overall, in terms of the brawlers, it is quite a big issue, and I just don't think stopping is really an option. So the most likely thing to happen is that it will just start slowing down to a point where it is more manageable, and hopefully when this happens, each individual brawler will also be given more attention, and hopefully will be hyped up more instead of these standard announcements we get nowadays, though those are still pretty good, especially the animations. But the final big topic around the future of the game is really about game modes and like how the game is played in that regard. I mean, we already do have a ton of game modes that have come to the game. However, there will surely need to be new ones to make the game feel more interesting and fresh, since that is probably more important and impactful than adding new brawlers. And in terms of the game modes, I really do hope that Brawl Stars will add some party type mode or just small mini games or something that are separate from the standard Brawl Stars. If you look at Fortnite, then you can see a very similar thing. You have the normal battle royale modes, and then you have creative, which is full of a bunch of different things. And creative has really been a big thing that has kept Fortnite super popular, and Brawl Stars is kind of like that as well. I mean, you have the map builders in which people have built mini games and stuff before. However, I really want Brawl Stars to make those more accessible and make them more official, so that there's a section for like custom created games by players that have also been officially approved by Supercell to make sure the quality is good. I think this would be a great way to keep people playing the game longer, as it would just make the game more interesting. Plus, this way the devs won't even have to do as much work, as the players are the ones creating the game modes. So it'll be really interesting to see if anything like this gets added in the future, though I really do want it, since I think it'll be great and it'll be a good direction for the game to head into. But overall, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think the future of the game is going to be like and what you want to see down in the comments. But with that, I'll see you all in the next one.